In the small village of Abuko, there was a man named Keto, known by all as the village drunkard. He was old, ragged, and wandered through the village every day, repeating the same strange words: not all graves have bodies, and not all bodies have graves. Show a little kindness, for you never know which side you'll be counted on. Many villagers were annoyed by Keto's words. They didn't understand why he kept saying it, and most ignored him. Some even mocked him, saying he was just a crazy old man. One day, the mighty king of Abuko, proud and powerful, rode through the village with his guards. He saw Keto stumbling down the path, muttering his usual phrase. Keto looked up, and without fear, repeated to the king, not all graves have bodies, and not all bodies have graves. Kindness is all that lasts. The king, feeling insulted, grew furious. How dare you speak such nonsense to me, he thundered. I am the king. When I die, I will have a grand grave, worthy of royalty. Then, in anger, he ordered his guards to seize Keto and drag him to the palace dungeon. Keto was thrown into the dark, damp dungeon, but even there, he continued to repeat his words. His voice echoed through the palace halls, saying, remember, great king, not all bodies have graves, and not all graves have bodies. It doesn't matter if you're a king. The king's anger only grew, and finally, he gave the cruelest order: take him to the forest, end his life, and leave him there with no grave and no farewell. As the guards dragged Keto through the village on his final walk, some people cheered, glad to finally be rid of the annoying drunkard. A young boy, curious and puzzled, asked Keto, why do you always say those strange words? Keto looked at the boy with tired, wise eyes. Because they are true, child. And many hate the truth. With that, Keto was led to the dark forest, where his life was quietly ended, and his body left among the trees, without a grave. Weeks passed, and the village returned to its usual life. Then, one bright morning, the queen and the princess prepared for a journey to the grand market in the neighboring village, famous for its treasures and goods. The princess's wedding was soon, and the queen wanted to choose the finest gifts herself. They traveled by boat, for the market was across a wide river, and many villagers watched the royal boats leave with the queen, the princess, and the guards. But on their way back, a fierce hurricane swept over the river. Thunder crashed, the wind roared, and the rain poured down in heavy sheets. The boats capsized, and everyone on board was lost to the raging waters. The king sent out search parties to retrieve the bodies, hoping to give his loved ones a royal farewell. But after days of searching, only 2 guards' bodies were recovered. The queen and princess were gone, leaving no trace. Heartbroken and defeated, the king finally understood the truth in Keto's words. He remembered the drunkard's voice, now haunting in its wisdom: not all graves have bodies, and not all bodies have graves. Show a little kindness. The king gathered the villagers and, with a tearful voice, shared the lesson he had ignored. We do not control our final resting place. Whether we have a grave or not, it's kindness that lasts. Let Keto's words be our guide: live each day as if it's the last, and treat others with kindness. From that day forward, the villagers remembered Keto, not as the village drunkard, but as a wise man who saw the truth. And each year, on the day he was taken to the forest, the villagers gathered to honor his memory, learning that wisdom sometimes comes in unexpected ways.